Bo, we got Baker's dozen. Baker's dozen reasons what?
When you look at Dusty Baker in his career, I'm going to go through my Baker's dozen of why he's a Hall of Fame manager.
Why he's a Hall of Fame manager. Well, other than Bruce Bochy, the other 10 managers to reach 2,000 wins are all in the Hall of Fame. So you have to assume Bochy's going to be in the Hall of Fame someday. And in Dusty, I'm with you. I think he's a Hall of Fame manager. So give me your Baker's dozen reasons why he's a Hall of Famer.
I'm going to start with number one because, for me, he's not only a Hall of Famer, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Ooh.
When you look at Dusty Baker's career, we'll go to number two. He will have 2,000-plus wins in his career. Number three, he's a three-time Manager of the Year. When you look at Dusty Baker and his ability to guide teams, he's been able to take teams from not getting into the postseason to actually advancing and getting them into the postseason and making deep runs.
Mm-hmm.
Number four for me is something that happens off the field. Dusty Baker's ability to lead people is off the chart. He's able to not only lead, but he's also a great mentor. He was a mentor of mine. I remember when I got fired by the Houston Astros, the first phone call that I received was from Dusty Baker.
Wow.
And it was kind of like a father figure phone call. And when you look at Dusty Baker and his ability to recruit players, a lot of times front offices, they may put the nugget out there. Dusty Baker is like the closer in the free agent market as it relates to recruiting players. Number five, Dusty Baker has taken 5 different franchises to the postseason.
That to me is incredible.
5 different franchises to the postseason. When you look at most postseason appearances by a manager, Dusty Baker, 11. You know who else is on that list? Bobby Cox, Joe Torre, Tony La Russa.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to number 6. And this is what we call the cause and effect. When you look at a manager's ability to take over a team and move them into a different level, Dusty Baker has taken over the San Francisco Giants. Previous season, 72-90. Dusty Baker first season, 103-59. He takes over the Chicago Cubs. Previous season, 67-95. Dusty Baker's first season, 88-74. Takes over the Washington Nationals, 83-79. The previous season, 95-67.
Immediate impact.
Immediate impact on the field with teams that struggled the previous year. Let's go to number 7. And this is a big one for me because Dusty Baker has had some of the biggest stars in our game. And he's been able to manage their egos. He's been able to manage all the excitement that happens around them. You think about Barry Bonds and everything that was surround Barry Bonds from the steroid allegations. Dusty Baker was that common voice that was able to manage that situation. Jose Altuve, Dusty going into a heated Houston Astros situation with the sign skills scandal, everything surrounding that, the Carlos Correas. He's able to manage star players, and that takes leadership. Number 8, people skills. I don't think I've ever talked to anyone that can't get along with Dusty Baker.
I'm with you on that.
He can manage up. He can manage down. It doesn't matter what front office. And people talk about, analytics. Dusty's not analytical. He's very analytical. Just get into a conversation with him. He uses numbers. He may not use them the way someone wants them to use them, but he uses numbers. So his ability to deal with all people is another reason to me.
Makes him a collaborator.
A collaborator for good. You go to number 9. Did we forget that he had a 19-year playing career?
He's a really good player.
A 19-year playing career. And he's a career 279 hitter with 242 homers to the people. Won a World Series with the Dodgers. So when you look at a 19-year playing career, Dusty Baker was an unbelievable player that has taken himself and made himself a Hall of Fame manager.
And it's why he connects with star players. You talk about managing egos, he knew what it was like to be a great player.
Number 10, 7 decades in the game.
Wow.
Dusty Baker has been in baseball, so we're going to go longevity for number 10. The 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, 2010, and it's 2020, and he's still ticking. And he's better than ever at his job. Number 11, Dusty Baker career record against notable managers. Tony La Russa, 512 winning percentage. Bruce Bochy, 571 winning percentage. Jim Leland, 560 winning percentage.
Fascinating.
Lou Piniella, 532 winning percentage. And to cap it off with number 12, when Dusty Baker, Astros win their next game, he will become the 12th manager in Major League Baseball history with 2,000 wins. And you look at that list of managers with 2,000 wins and how many of them are in the Hall of Fame. Dusty Baker is a first ballot Hall of Fame, and his jersey number is number 12.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
That's my
the
Baker's
12th
dozen.
manager. It is a Baker's dozen, so I'm going to throw in one more for the 13th, if you don't mind. I remember when he was let go and he was looking for a gig, and he was open about being depressed. Wasn't in the game. I had a chance to catch up with him, winter meetings in the gym. And he was very candid with me. And his humility, you talk about a manager leading all of the men in that clubhouse, from the superstar, which you talked about, the star power, but the guy that doesn't get any at-bats. The guy that's worried about being sent back down to the minor leagues. His humility, his ability to connect with everyone. Yes, he was a great player, but he's also been a fragile person. And he's open about that. To me, that's why he brings everyone in. He's kind yet fierce. He's humble yet confident. I mean, we're big fans, clearly, of Dusty Baker.
Absolutely. We could have this conversation all night.